in this newest season of The Flash, after the first 3 initial episodes that gave us the kind of finishing off finale of the Mirrorverse arc, we have entered a new arc with the Forces. And the Forces are, it's a weird plot line so far. The initial idea, or should I say the first moment where Fuerza, that's what her name is, comes in and kills Abracadabra, that was a good cliffhanger. But ever since then, it was kind of stagnant whenever we were getting introduced to the different forces. But I think now that we have entered more of the finale, I feel, for this plot line with the Speed Force and the other forces, it kind of raises some really odd questions about the nature of the forces themselves. Because if they embody people, so we have the Sage Force, the Still Force, the Strength Force, and then we have the Speed Force. If the Sage, Still, and Strength Force embody these people, then the people themselves are not the forces. But the show kind of treats it as if, because the people have the forces in them, that they make them Barry's offsprings. And like, I understand like the kind of comparison to it, and it would be fine as like a one-off joke, but the fact that they keep making that comparison, and like Psyche calls him dad, and then the Speed Force calls Barry her father, it's just really, really weird. And why, I don't understand why they're taking it so literally. You know, like when Barry was about to go back in time and change the timeline, sure, there are people who were skeptical because Barry making changes to the timeline hasn't always fared well, but the idea of preventing the creation of the forces was a weird like point of contention, because for some reason Iris and Cisco were treating it like if they were to kill the forces, they were going to be killing the people, even though that's not true, because the forces are separate entities from the people. It's just those forces have embodied these people. So those people would have been affected, but it would probably have just sent them back to whatever they were doing before the timeline changed. So I don't understand how that would be a bad thing. And now I just feel like this weird pseudo family dynamic is just really, really odd. And I don't know if this next episode is going to really do much to help me feel better about it. It's just really strange. I like the actors who play the different forces. I like Psyche. He's probably the best bad guy out of the 3. Fuerza is pretty much a CGI monster. Dion, the actor, he's hamming it up a little bit, but you know, he's fine. The Speed Force, I'm very interested in thinking about what the Speed Force what they'll do with her after this, because here are my predictions. Either she has somehow been corrupted and manipulated by Reverse Flash, in that whenever they reactivated the Speed Force, because the beam went up into the clouds, it actually mixed in with the Reverse Flash. He corrupted her, and he's kind of manipulating things so the Speed Force would act kind of irrationally, and then that will lead into the next arc. Or they'll have to kill the Speed Force and make a new one, but I don't see that happening, because the reason why I think that something needs to happen, either the Speed Force is manipulated or they destroy it, is because this Speed Force has just proven not to be trusted. And I can't imagine moving forward with the show with the Speed Force that almost turned on everyone. You know, like whenever like she killed Fuerza, it pretty much kind of made it so I can no longer like sympathize or empathize with her really anymore. So like going back to just being a force where Barry draws power from would be a strange transition. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Tell me how you feel about these episodes, because I think it's kind of strange, this arc.